So earlier today, I ran out and saw the new movie 40 Acres, which is getting no attention. It has a high rating on IMDb, and, unfortunately, it's opening up against a movie like Superman. And as much as people complain that they don't make original things and there's superhero fatigue and no one, is asking for this shit anymore, I'm going to see Superman later, and our theater is sold out. And every other showing I looked at was sold out. And I'm not the one hating on these types of movies. I'm very much looking forward to Superman and Fantastic Four later in the year. I'm not that person who's complaining about it because I know that they do make original films and put them in theaters all the time. And every time I go, they're empty, like this one was. Literally just me and me alone in that theater watching this one. And in an hour, I'm going to see Superman, and it's going to be sold out. Which is fine. I'm fine with the fact that Superman is getting sold out. That it looks cool. I'm very much looking forward to it, but it's frustrating to constantly talk to clients and talk to people all the time who are like, why don't they make anything original? Why don't they this and that? And then you show up and there's no one there. I know I talk about this a lot, but it happens a lot and it's frustrating. So this is in a post-apocalyptic world, a fungal pandemic. Oh, I know a lot about that. Being a big Last of Us fan, I was pretty surprised when that came up on the screen. Has wiped out the majority of animals on the planet, and so there is a huge food chain issue, and they don't know what to do. Of course, society collapses, and the most important thing now is farmlands. So we follow the Freemans, and the Freemans have 40 acres that they watch over and protect. They are farmers, and they are soldiers, and they are a family, and they will do anything to protect their land from invaders. And of course, there is a group of people on the outside trying to get in, and they have to protect their land. I thought this was great. I think that the 7.1 on IMDb is pretty adequate. It's pretty fair. I gave this a 4 on Letterboxd. I thought this was really damn good. This movie's all about the family. So Danielle Deadwyler, who I know from the extremely underrated, I usually never use that word, but I do genuinely feel like this one was underrated, Woman in the Yard from earlier this year. She is the star of that as well, and she was also in an episode of The Bear this year that we just watched a couple nights ago. So I've seen a good amount of her lately. She's terrific in this. She is very fearless and fierce and a very believable badass. She's like the head of the family alongside of her, I think, lover, boyfriend. I couldn't get a perfect read on that, but that seemed like the dynamic. The phenomenal, the completely underutilized Michael Greyeyes. I love this guy. This is one of the coolest actors in Hollywood that I just don't see in enough stuff. I really fell in love with his persona and his acting in, I think it was season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, if I remember correctly. I thought he was fantastic in that, and I thought he was fantastic in this. And just the family dynamic is great. And I think that's what this, what really works for this film is that. Because the enemy threat, the cannibals that are on the outside trying to get in thing, they're kind of like stock villain, faceless, bodies to kind of throw at them for them to shoot and to have a threat and an enemy to fight back against. There's not almost any time given to those people. We don't really have like a leader per se. We get one guy for a short amount of time who I would maybe think is the leader, but I don't know. There was a lot. There was a lot to be desired in the antagonist department. The movie can be fairly brutal as far as like the characters' decisions and reactions. They are no holds barred, no bullshit. Kill people, shoot them in the head, be done with them, John Wick style. We are not here to take prisoners. We are not here, to hold anybody captive to get answers out of them. Like, no, just anybody who comes on this land, they're done for. And of course, there's that family dynamic of like the son who wants to have a life outside of this regimen that they've set for themselves, where they run it like a military compound, and the mom is a hard ass who came back from the military, and there's a good backstory with them when he was growing up, and so all of that stuff is where the film really succeeds, but the film is very safe. That being said, you do fall in love with the family so much, you are rooting for all of them to be able to get out of it. So when things mostly go your way, you're not upset with it. I just wish we could have spent a little more time building an antagonistic force that did raise the stakes a bit more, but the focus of the film is supposed to be on the family. You're supposed to just care about them and following them and rooting for them, and in that department it is super successful. So it leaves something to be desired. There's a reason it's not a 5, right? Of course, for me, that's what held it back, is that area. And the son in this is also very good. All of them are. I liked the daughters. I liked how we incorporated some Native American culture in here with Michael Greyeyes' character always speaking in like his native tongue, and bringing some of his culture into the mix with them. I really liked that stuff. I liked how they handled their land and the systems they had in place, and the movie starts very strong with showing what a force to be reckoned with they are, and I think they're very successful at that. It's like a family of Rambo, Rambo and his kids, and I like that. And it never felt like fake and eye rolly. It felt like a very well trained little militia, which I appreciated. So yeah, I think this one is very cool. I think that people should be going out to the theater to support it, to see it. It's an original film. It's got a primarily black cast. Something that a lot of people claim they want to see: original characters, more diversity, original stories. Where are they? Where were the people in the theater? And I guess you could put some blame on the studio for not promoting this better, but I saw promotion for it. But at the end of the day, realistically, they know what's going to put butts in seats, and this is why they promote something like Superman more than they're going to promote 40 Acres, because they ultimately know what's going to happen. So I wish that they would have a little more faith in these types of movies, but I saw a decent amount of promotion. It's got really damn good ratings in it. And literally not a single person was in the theater. And I checked other showtimes from yesterday, because I was going to go yesterday, and I checked a few different theaters and a few different showtimes, and every one of them was dead. Every one of them. Nothing. Nobody. So it's upsetting. It's upsetting because, I'm somebody, because people could come back at me and be like, well, you're the one that's supporting Superman. And it's like, yeah, because I'm not complaining about it. I don't mind that they make Superman. Like I said earlier, I'm very aware that they make original films every year. I'm not the one bitching about this. I'm never the guy that's like, oh, who asked for this? Like, why do they make this? Like, well, they made it for somebody, and let them go enjoy it. Who gives a shit? I don't care. They can make 17 Supermans a month for all I give a shit. That doesn't take away from all of the films that we get. I just feel like people don't watch enough movies. That's real, right? Like, I watch probably 15 to 20 original films per month at least. Every month. Without fail. Every year. So to say they're not making original films, and I'm not saying every one of them's great. Of course not. Not every film's going to be great. This is not how it works. But to say they're not making original film is just disingenuous. It just shows that you're not doing your research and you're not going out and looking harder. Right? You just kind of see what is promoted and then you draw conclusions from that. Like, well, I'm not seeing any promotions for these movies. Well, if you're such a film fan, then look harder. Look at what's at your multiplex and look at what's at the theater. Look at what's anywhere and research it a little bit. Go through the list and look at each movie and go, what is this? I don't know. It frustrates the fuck out of me that no one's ever in the theater for these goddamn movies. And I feel like because of that, tentpole films can't keep the doors open. They do for a bit, but it won't last. As much as I enjoy a Superman movie, I'm sure I'll have a great time tonight. You can't depend on just those movies. They just won't keep the theater open. You have to have more films than that because those are expensive ass movies. They can only make so many of them a year. You have to go out and support these types of movies. Anyways, enough of my soapbox bullshit. I just tired of going into theaters for original films and being the only guy in there. So, all right. I'll see you in the comments. Adios.